I imagine Australian police are kind of like ruder British police, but still
I think
no
of
guns.
them as more hippie British police. The British police, I imagine, is just real pieces of
maybe
shit.
not ruder, like more ball busting, like
Pieces
more
of shit.
like that.
They've got to have the biggest inferiority complex ever. Every time I see the British police on TV anywhere, they're getting just bullied, slapped around, like just made a fool of, made a mockery of. People will like run up and slap them in the back of the head and like whoop, 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 like just run away from them.
Run away.
Boy, brother, you wouldn't have tried that 500 years ago.
A fat British policeman has no recourse. He has none. Because all he's got is a fucking whistle and a radio. You can run up, slap the shit out of him, run away. What's he gonna do? Blow his rape whistle?
Did you see the kid who was like running from the cop and he climbed up the roof of the building and he's hiding on the roof and everyone's like being quiet around the cop, not telling him and stuff?
Just fully
Counterpoint, Kyle. I run at the same speed as a fat British cop. So that would be bad.
I don't even know if British cops are legally allowed to run. I think they have to like briskly walk at perps and
not in London. It's considered disrespectful.
It is, yeah.
I mean, you only have to go back like 6 years, and I've broken both legs in that span of time. Yeah. I'm not that good at running.
The British cops, like that, for knives to be the problem they seem to be over there. Like, have you seen the number of clips where like a person with a machete is like actively like Benny Hill chasing a cop around, and it's like, Brits, you got to give him something other than that, like seemingly padded truncheon that he's like spinning like a goofball, like in the middle of the road. Like,
trying to hold him up on chairs and stuff.
At least give the British police their own machetes, like that.
Machete spear.
That'd be a little medieval, but okay.
Yeah, it seems to
Spears
be.
would have a presence.
How about electric machetes?
How would that help? What would it do?
Well,
like taser machetes.
You could stun the person with it. There'd be a stun shetty.
How about a cattle prod? An electric spear.
Dude, they take that right away from you. I've seen the answer. It's an Asian country. Like
guns.
No, it's not guns. It's not. It's really not. Because you can't go in somewhere and get a guy with a knife with a gun. You can go in there and kill him, but he can still lurch at you and fucking... You better be the outlaw Josie Wales when you go into a little tiny closet with a man with a knife and expect to put him down before he cuts you. All right, you better be quick draw McGraw, putting one between his eyes, because otherwise, shoot him 5 times in the chest, he'll stab you to death.
I see where Kyle's going here, and I'm on the same side. Grenades, right? You roll the grenade in there,
I saw,
safe as can be.
They have these sticks with like a hook on the end, and it's almost like that thing you grab dogs with the loop where you grab some. But I've seen like 2 guys use those things and fork a person, and they're fucked. Like you're just fucked. And they train these guys to use them. There's like a technique to it, and there's some teamwork to it. And with these forked sticks, they completely immobilize human beings who have knives.
Yeah,
I think that's a good idea.
Like actually, from the Planet of the Apes.
I'm fine with killing them, and that's what we do now. I watched a video last night. They got there's.
Oh yeah, if the guy's running around with a machete hacking at people,
well,
you got to take care of that.
Here's what happened. It wasn't that. It was kind of that though. And there's gray areas to everything, right? It's an apartment building, multiple levels. Police show up. The security guard's there. He's like, yeah, there's an old drunk guy up on 6th floor. He's old though, really skinny. He's got a knife. He went like this to me. The guy's like, what, like this? And for those listening, he brandished the knife, like stabbing motion back and forth. And the cop's like, oh, I don't like the sound of that. He's like, yeah, but he's old. He doesn't mean it. He's drunk. He's just being scary. He keeps saying that, you know? So they hop in the elevator, and the cop's like, so he's on the 6th floor? And the security guy's like, yeah. He's like, so let's get off on the 5th floor and then go up the, a flight of stairs. That way we don't just open the elevator and surprise, he's there. And it's kind of a funny moment. And the security guard goes, nah, man, I'm telling you, he's chill. Somebody presses 6 on that fucking pad, and I got to go back and figure out who, because when that door opens, there he is with the knife standing there. Looking pretty surprised because there's an elevator full of cops. They gunned him down before he could. It was just, and you could see meat hanging out of his like side a little bit, like you could see flesh. And you could, and it looked like the life was draining out of his eyes.
Yeah,
like
it was.
You watched him die right there in a split. He just went, and it was a little gruesome for me. There are always multiple angles. I just watched the first angle and got off that video because it was pretty dark. People have knives and you have guns. They die.
A video. There was an oversized lady on a couch, and there's these two officers who are talking to her and stuff like that. And she's sitting down. The officers are standing up, and one of them says, "Oh, you can put your gun down or whatever." And they're telling her, okay, they're talking to her. Do you have any weapons on you? No. And they're having a nice conversation and everything. And they tell her, okay, you need to get up because we need to leave now. So she starts getting up, and it's one of the officers says, oh, "Don't reach behind, don't reach for anything, don't move." Lickety, like really fast. She just gets up and stabs one of them in the head. No. And everyone just pulls out his firearm, like boom, 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 takes her out, right? And I mean, thankfully, the guy who got hit, the officer who got hit, you're seeing it from his vantage point, from his body camera, and like he's bending his head over, and you're seeing the blood dripping out. And his partner goes, "Are you good? You good?" He goes, I'm good. She just grazed me or whatever. But it's like, it happened, and this was a large lady, I mean, like no fast reflexes or anything.
Yeah,
and she just half a second it took her to pull it out.
You're playing tag. That's what you got to think about. Don't think somebody's going to come beat you up. Think and how fast that might take. Although it's kind of the same thing if you've never trained or seen a fucking mixed martial arts match or like can't appreciate reality. Like a lot of about half the population, I would say.
More.
You're playing tag. They will cut you open. And if you've never seen what a sharp knife does to like a person, it is gruesome. I mean, so I don't know how many times I've been asked, would you rather get shot or get stabbed? And I'd rather run the fuck away and like neither of those things happen to me. God damn it, if I wouldn't rather get shot, I think. If it's just a full metal jacket, if it's a standard bullet and a standard knife, a big slashy wound over a gunshot wound, I'll take the gunshot. Just don't shoot anything vital. Like, fuck.
Well, didn't we talk about this before when the guys were on the street and, it's a regular after bar street fight and everything. And this big guy is walking up to this little guy. And it's just this little guy just goes boom to the neck. And then they start, and the guy's holding, you just see the blood squirting out everywhere and he's done. You know what I mean?
Did he die?
And it's like the other guy that's still fighting. They don't even know his friend got stabbed.
He's done. Is he out of the fight or dead?
Sorry?
You said he was done. Is he dead or out of the fight?
Yeah, he died on the spot.
Okay.
Because
I saw
a jugular and you can do about it.
I saw a great one last night. Over on the police activity channel, who should be paying me dividends, they do wonderful editing, and they start off with 2 911 calls. So you know what the cop knows when he gets there on the scene. You don't just pick up some random video. Who is this? You know what the officer's name. You got context. It's beautiful. There is guy says, "Hey, there's an intruder on our property here. He was sleeping in one of the vehicles. He's violent. We've got to get him out of here. He won't leave." Okay. What's he wearing? Tennis shoes, shorts, and a tennis racket. He goes, "What?" The tennis shoes, shorts, and a tennis racket. He's armed with a tennis racket? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So the cop shows up with a fucking German Shepherd. And he's got the Shepherd at a big leash and he's walking.
Don't bring a tennis racket to a German Shepherd fight.
Don't. So he's yelling, "Come out, you get bit. Come out, you're going to get bit." Gives him like 3-4 of those big loud warnings. Dude's definitely heard this shit because he's yelling back. Can't really tell what. He's cursing. He's crazed. He's wearing tennis shoe shorts and a tennis racket. He's out of his fucking mind. And so the cop unbuckles that fucking dog and I can't remember it, Pocken maybe? Whatever he says. And the fucking dog is he lets the dog get a big running start because it hits this guy. It doesn't just run up and like get in a fight with him. It tackles this motherfucker.
And
now the dude is on the ground fighting the dog. And when the cop catches up, he's going, "Stop biting my dog." And then I see the cop has the tennis racket. and he starts whooping this guy's ass with that tennis racket. Yeah. He's hitting him with the edge of it right in the face. Whack, 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 whack. And he hits this dude in the face with the edge of the tennis racket, breaking the tennis racket, like tears it apart, hitting him in the nose and the mouth and the face with it. The dog is also fucking the guy's face up. They destroy this motherfucker in like 5 seconds. Then they finally get the dog off of him and get him handcuffed. He's got a mohawk and his whole face is just a bloody mask. It was wild. But don't bite the police dog. That was or don't, pick a fight that when you're armed with a tennis racket, I guess.
Don't
it's
beat
a great
people
video.
in public with a tennis racket. I like just thinking about that, like hitting someone with the side of a tennis racket is very funny as like a brutal way to hit someone. But like, I was just thinking, like, if someone came up to me and was like, what, like rapping me on the head with the side of a tennis racket, I would like go in, and if they were faster than me, I would be like full on panicking and like, stop, fuck, man. It's just like you'd be bleeding because the edge of those is a little sharp and it's fiberglass. That wouldn't be fun.